if you know me, but I get to be the guy that knocks on the door. Every Hall of Famer that they're coming to Canton, Ohio to spend the rest of their career. And I hope you get an opportunity to go inside and see what it's like, because in the history of this great game, and it is a great game, we've had 330 million young men and now women like you that have played this game. There have only been 5 million that have ever played it in college. There's only 29,000 who've ever been paid to play it, coach it, or officiate it in the National Football League. And in our bronze bust gallery, we've got the bronze bust of only 326. And there's 176 living Hall of Famers. So it's incredibly elite company. But what I want you to know is they didn't fall out of bed great. They had to fight to be great. They had to overcome adversity. They had to depend upon other people, and other people had to depend upon them. And what you're doing today, right now, is really special. And I also want you to know that this is an important part of my family. I've had 2 boys. One, as you might imagine, neither one was a wide receiver. Both were offensive linemen. One went to USC and played for Pete Carroll when he was there and won 35 straight games. That was a record in the NC2A. My other son went to Duke and played there when they had 22 straight losses. But you know what was really cool was when we came home and we ate dinner, they were both learning the great lessons from great coaches and great teammates. This is the only game where every player needs every teammate on every play just to survive. And there's so many wonderful lessons. And when you get together and you huddle up, don't miss out on that. You know, we may have a lot of teachers here, and with great respect for those teachers and education. I have yet to find anyone who went back to their chemistry teacher or their calculus teacher for life advice when they were in trouble. But I'll tell you, gentlemen, back to our coach. Because that coach is that person who teaches you how to get up when you get knocked down and how to keep going when you can't go on any further. And that's what America needs right now. Not just your high school, not just your team, not just your community, but America needs you more than ever before to understand that. And the huddle is a sacred place. This game that we honor here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's not just entertainment. There are so many wonderful lessons in it that when you get in that huddle, it is a sacred place. When my son was at USC and we'd go to Notre Dame, we'd take 15,000 people with us. So we weren't as loud as the Irish in South Bend, but we were pretty close. But let me tell you, when you get to the NFL and you end up at Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers, there's maybe 100 fans that are Falcon fans there. You know, and most of us are parents or family, because those guys from Green Bay, they've got a 20-year waiting list for season tickets, and they're not giving it up. And they're behind their team. And for those of you who are offensive linemen, you know that that left tackle is going to have to defend and catch a grenade going backward against somebody who's generally about 285, runs a 4.6, and is attacking you while you're going backwards, protecting the right-handed quarterback, in his case, Matt Ryan, while you're going backwards. And he's only got 2 advantages. He knows which way the play is going to go, and you know when the play is going to begin. And if that crowd is screaming and yelling and so loud that you can't think, then all of a sudden he loses one of those advantages. And now he's on his heels. And it affects everything that happens to those other 11 guys. So the huddle is a place where you can get shoulder to shoulder. And I know you're social distancing right now, but in that huddle, you are shoulder to shoulder. You are tuning out all the noise that's out there. and you are getting shoulder to shoulder, and you're getting on the same page. And it's one of those things where one of my Hall of Famers, Ron Yary, a wonderful offensive lineman for the Minnesota Vikings, he said he spent 17 years in a huddle and only spoke twice. Because he learned after his rookie year that you listen not with your ears, but with your eyes and your heart. And you could see who depends upon you. And you could see who you could trust. And you could see who's hurting. And you got to help. And that's what a team is. It's a concept of that giving yourself to something that's bigger than you. You don't lose relevance, you actually gain it. And you have learned those lessons already. And they're going to be more important to you as you go forward. So when you break that huddle with one heartbeat, you can all go to the line and you can attack that adversity on the other side. And you're either going to succeed together or you might get tackled for a loss. And if that happens, you're going to huddle up again. You're going to tune out that noise. You're going to get on the same page and you're going to break with one heartbeat. And I just want you to know that that's what America needs right now, more than ever before. Your generation has three big challenges right now. You've got a worldwide pandemic. The Hall of Fame has never been closed for 2 days in a row, and we were closed for 3 months. You've got an economic crisis where the United States passed $3 trillion in aid, and it's going to be your generation that has to pay that off. And now we've got issues of social justice everywhere where we need to come together. But again, this game can be a model. You know, the reason the Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio, is because 100 years ago, in 1920, on September 17th, 14 teams came together with George Halas, Jim Thorpe, a guy, and they were in the snowmobile room of a Hupmobile dealer, a guy named Ralph Hay. And they sat around on the cars, and they started this thing called the National Football League, which is what we know today. But in that year, I want you to know, 1920, there were 2 African Americans in the league that year. 2 years later, there was an African American head coach named Fritz Pollard, who was one of our Hall of Famers. And gentlemen, I want you to know that was 24 years before Jackie Robinson ever stepped on a field. When Martin Luther King said, "I dream of a day that my 4 children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character," he might as well have been talking about football. Because we measure character by the yard. If you're on offense, can you help me get that yard? If you're on defense, can you help me from allowing them to get that yard? And I want you to know that the guys who I get to represent are guys who've been at the cutting edge of getting to know each other. They came from different places, from different families, from different cultures. We're also the home of the Black College Football Hall of Fame. And they all came together because when you were together, when you were engaged, when you were in the huddle, the only thing that matters is the color of that uniform. And these guys learned to love each other. Someday, when you look back on your high school career, you'll understand what that love is. You might have a chance to understand it while you're there. But I'll tell you, the guys that are in there, it wasn't just that they were bigger, faster, stronger. They cared more. They cared more about each other. And I'll tell you, the single thing they talk about every year when they come here, we have a luncheon called the Ray Nitschke Luncheon, and it's only for guys with gold jackets. I can't go in. The President of the United States can't go in there. It's only gold jackets. And what those guys talk about, the single most thing is love that they found in the locker room with teammates that they cared about and sacrificed for each other. I have seen it. I have buried them. It is really true. So what you're doing is bigger than a game. It's more important. And what I want to challenge you with here, I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank you coaches from the bottom of our heart for what you're doing in helping these young men not only be better football players, but become better men. I want to appeal to you because right now, America needs better men more than ever before. And it'll test you. It'll test your prejudices. It'll test your way of thinking. It'll test your, who you thought you were. But we can all become better men, and America needs it, and it starts right here in Canton, Ohio. So guys, have a great time today. We are really thankful for you, but we are really praying for you. Not only that you're going to have a great season and go on to college and have a great career, maybe someday play in the league, and maybe someday have a bronze bust in Canton, Ohio that'll last 40,000 years. But we're really praying is that each of you, each of us can become better men and make a difference out there for our community, for our families, and for our country. God bless you guys. Thanks for being here.
All right, thanks everybody. Before we get dismissed, I know he said he didn't want to talk, but I want to bring Coach Hicks up here. Come here, Coach Hicks. For those of you that don't know, and I bet you a lot do, but Coach Hicks is the one who started this. I reached out to him and we got this whole thing here for you guys today. So I wanted you to give a round of applause for Coach Hicks here. Thank him for everything that he's done so far. This is only going to get bigger and better, I think. You want to say anything?
Thank you for participating. I'm short on words. Thank you to the coaches for participating. Thank you for you gentlemen. If we're going to change society, it's with you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach. All right, with that, we're going to dismiss you guys. Now, everybody got wristbands on that they got when they got here. There should be 3 colors: orange,